as I said, the first time I fell into the clutches of Grunty Fenn was I was doing an outside broadcast for Radio Cambridgeshire at the Memorial Hall in Newmarket, and this must be 20-something years ago, more than that, 30-something years ago. And I was interviewing people at an auction about what they were bringing to be sold and so on. And I had a live microphone, and I was just relying on my wits, moving from person to person. And everywhere I moved, I was followed by this filthy, shambling man who kept trying to get on the radio. You know, the sort of people who put themselves forward, aren't they, Trick? I tried to avoid him. In the end, I sat down and he sat down next to me. Oh, God. So in the end, I interviewed him live just to humour him. And I was getting quite stupid answers from him. And it suddenly occurred to me after about 2 or 3 minutes that I wasn't talking to a shambling, filthy old Fenman. I was talking to a very clever guy who was pretending to be the filthy chap. And he had an American, well, I can't remember what they called, but it's a cross between a violin and something else. It's a stick with pole, a stick with strings, but with a sound tube.
Yeah, what they used to do with those is that in the early days of recording it, they found it very difficult to pick up the sound of violins. And what they developed, the fiddle with the horn on it, so they could actually pick the sound up onto a cylinder or something like that.
That's what it was. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
anyway,
you knew everything.
Nearly, but he was playing that because Pete Sayers could pick up anything, and he could play any, not just musical instruments. He could play anything. He could take a wardrobe and then he'd get a tune out of it. Anyway, we completed this conversation, and it occurred to me afterwards that's the last I'll see of that person. But he turned up in the corridor at Radio Cambridgeshire one day, sort of got in my way, and he thought that our conversation had gone very well when he was Dennis and I was me. And he, for years, had been looking a way to develop the Dennis idea as an entertainment. Dennis had first been born 5 or 6 years earlier than when I first met him. He was living at Bluntisham, and he was living in a little semi-detached cottage, and in the other half of the cottage lived an old bloke who was a real old local guy, real local villager, who was short and stooped. He wore a flat cap, pebble glasses. He went everywhere carrying an American cloth bag, and he had a filthy Mac. An idea crossed Pete's mind, and he managed to buy an old Mac and some pebble glasses and buck teeth, false buck teeth. And he'd been living next door to this chap for 2 or 3 years. They knew one another. But he put on this whole outfit, and he went and knocked on the door next door and said, "How you doing?" And the chap next door, who knew him but didn't recognise him, thought that because he looked just like him, he dressed up as the man he was talking to. And he sort of just carried the whole thing off. And he went back in and told his wife, and his wife said, "That is the future." She realised before he did that Dennis was going to be something that had, as we say in my trade, legs. Well, from then on, Pete Sayers was 2 people, and he was a bit torn between the 2, because he was a very able musician, and he already had a transatlantic reputation for particularly country music, bluegrass, and he had his own show in Nashville, Tennessee. And if an Englishman can survive playing in Nashville and nobody complains, then, you know, he's got to be pretty good. Eventually he came back to this country, brought the idea of the Grand Ole Opry with him, and started the Dennis thing. And there must have been quite a bit of friction in his mind. He never spoke about it, but there must have been, because in some ways he got better known for the comedy side of his life than he did for the music side, which, you know, he regarded as the serious part of his life's work.